Hey y'all, what's up? Um, if you haven't read from the title of today's video, I was at the shooting last night in Dallas, Texas, at Six Flags. It, sorry, I haven't got much sleep, and I wanted to make a video, and I'm still very shaky, and it it's just a very dramatic experience. And honestly, like, I wasn't feared for my life as much as the people I was with. Um, when it happened, I was in a group of people. When it happened, I had oh, I had one of my nephews with me. We had just gotten off a ride, and my husband was somewhere else in the park, and everybody else was kind of just waiting in food lines. And my nephew really wanted to ride some last couple of rides, so and we had the flash pass. Those things are awesome to get if you go to an amusement park, but I don't know if I'm gonna ever go back to one. Like, this is truly a dramatic experience, but I do thank God that I'm alive, my family is safe, and we survived this. I'm not even sure what the news is reporting, but I'm going to tell you my personal experience with it. But first of all, when we went into the park, I thought it was very strange that they didn't check any of our luggage. Like, they just had us run through this machine, and it would beep, and like, people were like, "Are you gonna check our bags?" And they're like, "Are you nuts? No, COVID." And I'm like, that's not really a good excuse to not check somebody's bag. Like, and I didn't, I thought it was odd, but I didn't think about it at the time. I was more focused on the kids having fun, us having fun, and so I was like, okay, well, uh, so we were going on these rides, and it was a blast. And then we all, like, at the end of the night, it was around 8 o'clock ish. So, like, I think it was like 10 minutes to 8 or whatever. No, it was around 8. Um, and if you wanted to go on my ride, nobody else went with them, and I was like, you know what, I'll go with you. I like the ride. And everybody else went food, so we were like, okay, well, we gave them our order and stuff, and they went throughout the park looking for food. I think there were like 2 or 3 different locations, and just split up throughout the park. And I was actually towards the back of it, and everybody else was towards the front of it. The ride got done. It was about 8. It was actually like, because I remember, because I called I called my sister when I got off the ride, and to find them, and it was 8:30. We were walking back, just trying to find them and be like, hey, we're okay, doing the check buddy system and everything. And all of a sudden, I just see everybody from the front, just like, it was like a river of people just running. I was like, where is the fire? What is going on? And like, you just hear people screaming, shooter, shooter, run, run, run. I like, get to the back of the building, and like, we get back there. Um, by Batman, like, totally back there, and I'm telling. I think I have my husband on the phone at this point, because he called and I was switching my phone calls, and he's like, well, where are you? And I said, okay, we're safe, we're by Batman. And I guess he couldn't really understand me. And I did to scream at him, Batman. Like, that's all I could say. Because my adrenaline rush was so high. Like, my first thought was, save kid, save kid, save kid. And I was telling him to run and hide. And We, like, it was a nightmare. So we were back there by Batman. Me and my nephew were. And we were like, okay, good, we're safe. And then I'm like telling people, okay, we're safe, we're fine, we're good. And then I'm like, I hear, I'm not sure because it could have been the hydraulics on the rides because sometimes the rides kind of sound a little muffled. But you hear bang, 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 and it was kind of muffled. So I can't be 100% sure what it was. So I'm wondering if there might have been one shooter. I'm wondering if one shooter got into the park. I don't know. Um, hold on, y'all. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. But anyways, we didn't know. Like, we weren't 100% sure if somebody had actually gone into the park and was shooting in the park. But you could hear, like, little gunshots. What sounded like muffled gunshots going on, which I'm assuming, I'm not sure what kind of gun was used or anything like that. But being an amusement park, you kind of get those sounds with the rides a little bit. So it can be a little confusing. But when people were coming out of Batman, and that's like at the end of the park, like literally facing the highway, and you hear people literally just coming out in a flood saying, there's a shooter, they have a gun, we've seen it, run, 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 run. And I mean, it was like, whoa. And like literally Six Flags Over Texas did not have any emergency escape rooms. They had nothing. We felt so trapped. And at one point, I literally told my nephew, I was on the phone this whole time too. I was yelling at him. I was like, okay, we're gonna hop this freaking fence and get to the interstate. Like, we'll figure it out. But my one concern is to save you. And I finally found my husband and stuff, and we eventually did get safe. But the employees at Six Flags literally immediately shut their doors. They only protected themselves, which caused actually more mayhem. But there's one arcade area in Gotham City, and one of them finally decided, okay, I'm opening up my back room. Like, let's get these people safe. And we went in the back room, and I'm just in a panic, and I'm like thinking, okay, my family's safe, but what if the shooter would have got them? All these what if scenarios, and had me going through my head, and I'm like, I really wasn't scared for my own life. I was more scared for my nephew's life and wondering if I was going to see my husband, or if any of my family was going to be alive. And it was just literally it was so scary. It was scary. And it felt like the cops took their it literally felt like the cops took their sweet time getting there. The response time honestly was not quick enough for me personally. I mean, when you're in Six Flags, you felt trapped, and we were already making a plan of how to jump the fence to get to the interstate and worrying about our vehicles later, and having a cop escort us to him or something. I mean, our goal was to get out. Didn't really know how many shooters there actually were, but it was a flood of people running every which way. And I'm not sure. I think maybe one person got trampled. I'm not sure, but people were being separated from their family, not knowing, women crying out for their children. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, and so I got home safe, my family safe, but it was complete nightmare. And I wish Six Flags would honestly, if they're gonna have their park open, hire more security to um patrol the whole fence line of the park and actually check people's bags and have the proper security measures, because they didn't do a good job at securing the park. And I felt like they honestly put COVID above our safety, and they were yakking about COVID 90% of the time. They didn't, it's like they really didn't want to truly think about our safety. And I really hope the person that worked at the park who opened up their doors to us does not get in trouble, because they did the right thing. And I hope the people who decided not to help the people in the park, who decided that their safety was somehow better than our safety, when we're their paycheck, because we practically pay their paycheck. We come to the park, we spend our money, and if we're gone, doesn't that mean their paycheck's gone too? Like, it literally felt like the park basically said, oh shit, we're hiding our employees and you're on your freaking own. And it was just a hot mess. And honestly, I don't think I'm going back there. But I did thank God that I was safe. Like, the first thing I did, I was tell my nephew to run, and I was like, God, just keep us safe, God, just keep us safe, God, just keep us safe. And I was just praying to God and just saying, God's in control, God, you're in control, please keep us safe. And it was just so dramatic, and I hope nobody ever has to go through that again. And yeah, I still believe that as Americans, we should have the right to protect ourselves even more. Because if the criminals have guns and they're going to be shooting at the place and stuff, I kind of wish in that situation that I would have been able to have carried a firearm in Six Flags to protect my family and those around me if a shooter was to come. But I felt like I had no protection. I felt like I wasn't safe. And the only person that could keep us safe was God, and God did. God got us home safe. And I don't know. But anyways, you guys, I'm gonna get off here. I hope you guys will have a safe and blessed day, and I hope you never have to experience what I experienced last night, because it's one of the worst things in the world. Alright, bye guys.